Good morning, everyone. Let's talk again. Another Shabbos is coming. Another week. As next week we have the 15th of Av, a great special holiday. And we just had the 10th of Shvat, a very special, great day. Let's have a couple of lines regarding this week's Parsha. This week's Parsha is a very heavy, powerful Parsha, a lot of beautiful lessons, but we have only 5 minutes. So in this week's Parsha we're learning the last story in this week's Parsha. The end of this Parsha we're learning about the war with Amalek. And we're learning about the war of Amalek. That Amalek came to fight. It was the first one that came to battle with the Jews. And Moshe Rabbeinu tells Yeshua to go out and fight. Say ve'ilachem im Amalek, go out of the cloud and have a war with Amalek. What the idea of going out? Because as we know, Amalek was not able to get inside the cloud to fight the Jews. So only outside of the cloud, that's where he could be. So he said, go outside and fight with Amalek. And as we already explained, who was outside to fight with? Amalek. But the Jews are inside the cloud. So it says only those Jews that the cloud spit out. In other words, the way it would be, if a Jew would not behave the way God wanted, it would get spit out of the cloud. So in other words, those Jews that were not there yet to be connected with God, they were outside. And those are the people that Amalek came to fight with. And Yeshua went there to fight Amalek. And Moshe Rabbeinu, he goes up to the mountain, as the story goes, and he'll pray to God. So we'll learn one detail of the story, that Moshe Rabbeinu's hand became heavy. He couldn't hold him up to pray to God. And they needed to help him, as the story goes. And why did it become so heavy that he couldn't hold him up? So Rashi tells us the reason was because nit'atzel b'mitzvah. He was slacking in the mitzvah. He was slacking in the mitzvah of fighting Amalek. Why? As we see the story, instead of himself doing it himself, he sent out Yeshua. He should have gone himself. Because he was slacking, this is why this happened to him. And as we always have the question, why would the Torah say something not positive about Moshe Rabbeinu? It's not a positive thing to say. And why was he slacking? Moshe Rabbeinu is a great man. And the simple explanation is that the war with Amalek didn't seem to him like a war that God said to do. It's not a mitzvah. Because any other war that was God, as we learned through Easter, Moshe Rabbeinu was the first one to go to war. So therefore, he sent Yeshua instead. Well, there's many other reasons why he sent Yeshua instead. But still, by Hashem, because you were not so into it to go and do that mitzvah, it says that Hashem like so-called punished him, and that his hand became heavy and he couldn't hold him up. Why is the Torah telling us this story? Who is writing the Torah? As we know, Moshe Rabbeinu is writing the Torah on behalf of God. Tells him to write, but why writing it? Very powerful message Moshe Rabbeinu is giving us. Very powerful message, and a beautiful one. Amalek stands outside the cloud. The Jews in the cloud have nothing what to worry about. He cannot get in there. Who is outside the cloud? Only those Jews that, as we said before, the cloud spit them out. Lesser degree Jews being connected. Jews that are far removed from God, as we call it. Moshe Rabbeinu says, I was thinking to myself, I'll send Yeshua instead, when I will stay and pray for them. I'm doing something good, I'm praying for them, but I'm not going to be hands-on with the war. Hashem looks like he was not happy, and that's why his hands were heavy. Hashem wants to give a message to Moshe Rabbeinu, and Moshe Rabbeinu gives the message to us. When there is Jews outside the cloud, the Jews are outside the community, They removed. Don't think that you, great Rabbi Moshe Rabbeinu, sit there and pray for them. It's beautiful to pray for them. But what you gotta do as being a great rabbi, go outside and fight for them. And this is the message Moshe Rabbeinu gives us in this week's Parsha, that it's related and relevant to us every day. We are having all our great people. We love sitting and learning all day. We all great rabbis. But there's many great people, many great rabbis. And there's so many people. Or even there's not so many. Maybe there's little people, but they're outside the cloud. There's some Jews, they're outside the cloud, they're outside of the community. And the Amalek, the negative, is fighting them. They can get lost. They can get completely assimilated. Says Moshe Rabbeinu, learn from me. My negative, but learn from me. You know what you gotta do? Don't just stay at the mountain and pray. Don't sit in the synagogue and pray for them or learn for them. And send someone else to do it for you, to save those Jews that are outside the cloud and getting lost. You yourself, hands on, go outside of the cloud. Go outside of you spiritual surroundings. Go there where those lost Jews are, and having a battle with Amalek, have a battle with Amalek of today, and save them, fight for them, do something to bring them back. That's the message Moshe Rabbeinu relates to us with his story. And because Moshe Rabbeinu says, because I did not do it, that's why my hands were too heavy, because I didn't do what I'm supposed to do. But learn, do that. And this is how we see, let's conclude the Moshe Rabbeinu in our generation, our Rebbe. As everybody sees the videos and the stories, the Rebbe loved sitting and learning alone, being with him. And learning would be for the world. Praying of it is for the world. But nevertheless, the Rebbe, as hard as it was for him, as we all saw Sunday, by dollars, he would come out and give dollars to the people and help every individual. Hands on, talk to everyone. Everybody telling him his stories and problems and helping every single Jew that would come by. And that's the message in 6 Parsha. We got to do the same thing, like Moshe Rabbeinu, like the Rebbe teaches us in his own lifetime, as we see the way he is involved with every individual. We too, don't stay in your cocoon on the mountain and pray. Go outside and help a Jew that's getting lost, that's getting bitten by the Amalekite. Help him, save him. Every Savala, good Shabbos, and we'll talk soon.